Hey there guys, how you doing? Today we're going to talk about timing, which is what the video is about from the 12 Principles of Animation. And inside of that video, the animator gives an illustration of a rabbit jumping up and down on ones and then again on twos. Ones, of course, are when you animate something different on every single frame of the animation, and twos are where you hold that same frame for 2 frames, that same image for 2 frames, and then change it. And so it gives you kind of a different look and feel. So what I've got here is a rabbit jumping. He's wearing headphones, and I've drawn him in kind of a see-through style, where you can see through all his body parts. You can see through his legs and his arms to his body. And that's just so that I can erase things later and color him if I want to. So I'm going to go ahead. This is at 12 frames per second, and it's about 12 frames long. And if I just hit the play button here, you'll see our little rabbit jumping up and down. Okay, so I'm using the basic principles of squash and stretch, starting him out in a standing position, squishing him down so he gets some power for his jump, and then stretching him up. But in addition, as he moves up, literally moving him off this baseline, which is the ground. So there we've got our little rabbit jumping up and down. So let me go ahead and stop that, pause that. Okay, so what I need to do now is copy him and put him over here and then change the animation style to twos. Now what I've done is um, I constructed him on 3 layers. Well, the first layer has his head and body, the second his feet, and the third his arms. So what I did was I completed him with these 3 layers, and then I made copies of all 3 layers, which are what these are right here. The ones that have the locks and the X's on them, that's going to stay here in the ones position, and then the other ones, these 3 layers here, are going to move over to this other side of the screen. Okay, so as I said, I have my original bunny is down here. It's these lower 3 layers, and I've basically I copied all of these frames, by clicking here and holding down my shift key and clicking here and right clicking to make a copy frames, and then I made 3 more layers and pasted the frames in the same way. Now, so my original is safe and sound. It's right in that position, and it is locked. So I can do anything I want with this guy to make him into the twos animation, and then I have to move him over. So to make him into twos, all I have to do is get rid of every second frame. If I get rid of whatever's on every second frame, then whatever's on the first frame will carry over. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hold my shift key down, and I'm going to click on the second frame at the third layer here, and then let's see, like this. Okay, click on one at the bottom, and then hold your shift key down and click on the one at the top. Now I've got all 3 layers there. The second frame, I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to say clear keyframe, because that's what that is, a keyframe. Now if I click off of it, you can see that now just this first frame carries over, so it's the same. If I go forward 1 frame, you see that nothing changes, right? But it changes on that one. So that means frames 1 and 2 are the same. So that's animating on twos. Okay, so now I'll do the same thing for every second one. So click here, shift, right click, clear keyframe, click here, shift click, right click, clear keyframe. So same thing on these last few. Oops, screwed up that last one, so let me try it again. Okay, there you go. And you'll know that it's right when you see dot and then the rectangle, which means sustain that image for an extra frame. If you got that pattern going across all 3, then you're good. Okay, so let's see what the bunny looks like now moving on twos. Okay, so a little different. He's sustains a little longer in each place, maybe a little smoother. Now we'll really be able to tell this when we have them sitting right next to each other. Okay, so and now one of the easy ways to sit them right next to each other is to take these top frames here and turn them into a movie clip. A movie clip is a separate movie that you can just drop wherever you want. So if I do that, I'll just be able to easily drop the bunny over here in the right area, this bunny that's animated on twos, as opposed to having to drag all these frames, select these first 3 frames or these first, 2 frames of 3 layers and drag them all over and use my onion skin and drag the next one over and so on and so forth. It's not that hard to do. In fact, well, I can show you how to do the movie clip thing as well, but let me show you, let's look at how we would do it like this. So I would select all these frames, right? And then I would click on this and I would move this over to the 2 area, right? Now let's make sure that that worked. Yep, it looks like everything moved over there. Okay, so now we got to turn on our onion skinning. We got to select all these frames and we got to click on them and move them over. And we want to hold our shift key down to make sure that we're in the same place, right? So that's actually not too bad. So we might not have to do the movie clip thing at all. So now I'm on my third one, my third set of frames. I click on that, hold down my shift key. I try to line everything up, so it's straight up and down. Okay, here's the next one. Click on that, hold my shift key down so that it's in the same plane. Okay, grab these guys, these bad guys over here. Oops. Looks like I could clean that up a little bit. Okay, and then finally, these last guys over here, it's kind of coming back down to normal. And try and get that lined up there. Okay. So now if I want to, I can turn off my onion skinning and hit the play button. And oh, of course I have to have my loop on. Okay, and there he is, jumping up and down on twos. Now I can pause that and I can unlock and, or actually, yeah, unlock and turn the eyeballs back on this guy on the ones. And now we can hit play and watch them both jump. So let's see what it looks like. So yeah, you can see that the one on the one that's animated on twos, he seems to have a little bit more of a fluid movement. The one on animated on ones on the left, he seems like he's a little more precise in his movements. Maybe that would be one thing that you could use animating on ones for, is when you have to have very detailed movements, but when you want more fluid movements, you could do something like animating on twos. Okay, let me go ahead and stop this animation. Okay, so I've stopped the animation. I'm going to switch over here to looking at the website. And of course, on Monday, I had some presentations I shared with you from students. And if you'd like to look at those and make a comment about them in the website forum, that would be great. We'd love to hear from you guys. Of course, the video for Monday you can watch right there. The cognitive drawing exercise for Monday's here. And here were a couple student exercises for Principle 8, which is secondary action, which was done last week. If some of you guys do that exercise and put in your folder, please send me a link. I'd love to post some more examples up here. So today we have a presentation due from Richard, and I'd like him to put his presentation in his folder, and then I'll link to it. We're going to, of course, have this video right below that. Your cognitive drawing exercise is here, and it's drawing, these arms using these kind of geometric shapes. Speaking of cognitive drawing, let's see what the one was like for Monday. Okay, and same idea, just kind of a different arm shape. Okay, and then The 12 Principles of Animation, this is the video you're watching today, which is timing, which is where the rabbit's jumping up and down. And I'd like you to do a timing exercise, animate some kind of creature. It doesn't have to be a rabbit. On the right, have him or her animating, jumping up and down on ones. On the left, on twos. And then please upload that exercise and send me a link to it so I can show some examples of your work. Also, after you're done with that, you can work on your storyboard in Storyboard Pro. And then when that's done, please upload it and send me a link to that so I can share it with the class. And then go to Adobe Animate and work on your final animation. If you have any questions or problems, please email me directly or post them here in the class forum. Once again, please let me know if you're having any problems completing the work in this class. I can only help you if I know what's going on. So if, for example, you weren't able to get a drawing tablet, or you can't install the software or something like that, or you've just, lost all interest in online life, whatever the circumstance, please let me know so I can work something out with you. Because my goal is to get everybody to finish an animation this semester and complete the class. And there's some alternative ways that we can do that if you can't make all the stuff happen that's similar to what we had in the school situation with a drawing tablet and a computer that can run Adobe Animate. So let me know what's going on with you folks. Okay, have fun with this animation and with your projects, and I will talk to you again next week.